Hello, everyone, and happy Wednesday. Well, this is the Fantasy Debate with Sam and Tate, brought to you by drroto.com. Get your daily prescription of fantasy sports. This week's episode is brought to you by WinView Games, and they're the sports prediction leader and home for pregame and live prop contests. You can play against your league mates, you can play against your family, your friends, or play against your co-host and finally settle debate on who knows their stuff best. This week, we're going to be covering all of the Thanksgiving games for your Thursday night football. Very excited to cover all of them. WinView.tv/doc. Get your $100 deposit match when you go and sign up. It is super, super fun. We're going to throw the graphics up in a minute so you guys get to see and join in all the fun. But Tate, how the hell are you? I'm super excited that we're live. We haven't done a live in forever.
I know. I don't know what to do with myself. My voice is cracking. No,
What do I do with my hands?
You know what? To hell with Happy Wednesday. You know what? Just fast forward another 27 minutes in Eastern Standard Time. Happy Thanksgiving for anybody that is joining us live right now. It's good to be back live with you, Sam. I missed you.
Oh, I missed you too going live. It's super fun. I feel like our energy is always pretty darn good on our show. That's one thing that I do love about our show is we match each other's energies well. But when we're live, it's something special.
I know, and I haven't had any alcohol yet either. It's like I'm so excited. Anyway, yes, splendid. The live vibes, I'm feeling it. Let's go. We got some WinView games to jump into, and a lot of Thanksgiving football, and really a lot of fun to dissect 6 teams that are all coming off of losses, including one winless team on the season, the Detroit Lions, which is an annual tradition up here in Detroit and Michigan, watching their team lose every Thanksgiving.
We've got Chris Emmerich tuning in. Appreciate you, Chris. Live vibes. Yes, we've got the live vibes going on today. And guys, these are going to be played on WinView Games. Go ahead and head over to winview.tv/doc. Get your first deposit matched up to $100. It's free money. Go ahead and do that. And we're going to pull these games right up. I'm not going to delay or stall any longer. We are adding this up to the screen so you guys can see all the matchups that we do. And we're going to be starting, of course, with the first game. That's going to be the Bears versus the Lions. Now, I mean, before you go, because I know it's not the most exciting thing, but I mean, could this be the one where could the Lions get their first win in this one? Is that crazy? Am I crazy to even think that? Definitely
not crazy. You're not crazy, Sam. We've been recording together for a long time, and I can say definitively that you're not crazy. Maybe a little delusional about your Steelers from time to time, but that's...
Hey, you know what? We had amazing comeback this weekend. It was fantastic. Like, it was amazing up until the last, 3 minutes when it really sucked. But we did show that we have fight left in us.
Look, I mean, you're talking about fighting, too. I mean, that's kind of the 4 Fs of Thanksgiving that are involved with the Tate family. Fighting, family, food, football. And I'm just so happy to invite you into my virtual family right now to be able to tell you what's what when it comes to these WinView games. So,
all right,
as always,
let's break it down. Let's go to the first question.
Let's go.
There's always 10 questions. If you guys haven't played WinView before, there's 10 questions that are a part of their props. And so we're just going to go right through the list. And they're always yes or no props. And they tend to have really fun verbiage like and or eithers. We'll get to it. It's a lot of fun. So Chicago wins the game by 3 or more points. That is the question I am now posing to you, Tate. Yes or no on that?
I'm calling the upset. I'm going with the Detroit Lions actually going to win their first game of the 2021 season. Jared Goff's going to be back under center. The Chicago Bears have Andy Dalton going. No Justin Fields on Thursday, Sam. So... not that Dalton actually came in and played pretty well last Sunday when Justin Fields went out.
He threw a 60-yard touchdown to Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
Not bad at all. But that being said, there was whispers, reports that Matt Nagy was potentially going to be fired in season there in Chicago. And I mean, it's a long time coming. I mean, obviously, I feel like he's lost the locker room. It would feel like it would almost be fitting on like a nationally televised game, Thanksgiving, that Matt Nagy comes up short against a winless football team, and this could be the game that could finally seal the fate for Matt Nagy's era in Chicago coming to an end.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you hate for that kind of a thing to happen on a holiday. You never want that to happen ever. But at the same time, I mean, just looking at the way these two teams match up, and for me, just looking at the Lions have nothing to lose besides obviously just getting one more loss on their record. So I feel like they're going to come out pretty strong in this one. And I also really like DeAndre Swift in this one. I mean, he's someone that was up and down and up and down. He's finally broken the up and down and had 2 back-to-back amazing weeks. And I just feel like he's going to take that role. And even if Tim Boyle gets a couple little looks in because Goff isn't 100%, I'm not really worried about that. And they've got one of the best tight ends in the league in TJ Hawkinson. So I feel like, and he's their target leader, I feel like they're going to be able to make the upset. I'm with you on this. I'm going to go with no as well. And I think that's a pretty fair margin and love that for them.
I got a feel for Detroit fans. Maybe it's an early Christmas gift for them because they've had to endure, other than tying your Steelers, it's been a rough season.
Thank you. I knew he wouldn't make it through this episode without bringing it up at least once. I
jabbed you. One jab.
Every time. Okay.
Sorry.
Question number 2. Both teams combined to score 42 or more points in this game. Now, if you think that the Lions are going to pull the upset, do we think this is going to be a sneaky shootout, or do we think that this is just going to be a bit of a kind of bumbling and slow going game overall? Because, I mean, 42 feels like a lot for these two teams.
Are you trying to go Chris Berman on me and go ramble, bamble, stumble? No.
Nope,
I'm gonna say that's a pretty low point total for an NFL game. Okay. I don't think it's gonna be a pretty game, but that could also include some ugly performances on defensive side of the football. So for that, right, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I think 42 or both teams will combine for that amount.
All right, I don't mind that. I'll agree with you there and go on to question number 3. Detroit rushes for more total yards than Chicago in this game.
I'm actually going to go with no. David Montgomery's back. So, DeAndre Swift's look great. I understand that he's posted back-to-back 100-yard outings.
At least 130 yards or more in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, 33 in week 10, 33 carries anyway, and then I think he had like 14 last week where he was balling out. But yep. I'm actually going to go with David Montgomery. I actually feel like he's going to have a little bit more involved than people think.
Yeah, I think he had a bit of a quiet return last week, so I think this definitely shapes up to be a good game for him to come back on. There's no little red question marks next to his name. He looks 100% good to go, so I agree with you there. I want to go no as well. On to question number 4. Swift records a receiving touchdown in this game.
Interesting one. I mean, the 4.2, this is where I want to use my risk-free shot on 750, just in case I miss this one so it doesn't count against us. But I could definitely see DeAndre Swift doing some damage in the passing game out of the backfield in this game. So I'm actually going to go ahead and say yes, and I want to use that risk-free shot.
All right, you're going to say yes and go with the risk-free shot. Do you want to explain to the kids watching what the risk-free shot is 100%?
So how it comes to scoring points with these WinView contests, when you wager 250, 500, 750, you actually either make that amount or you lose that amount based off of whether you get the question right or not. So, I mean, of course, whether you answer yes or no, doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that it's multiplying whatever your wager is times whether you get the answer right or wrong. Now, so the risk-free, all it does is alleviate that risk if you get it wrong, that you don't actually lose any points.
Yep. We love it for that. And that's also the reason why that Tate and I also always do 750 on everything else, because we're all in on our answers. 100%. Go big or go home.
Exactly. Let's go.
And hit the risk-free. On to the next one, number 5. Montgomery rushes for 85 or more total yards in this game. Based on what you just said, it feels like this is going to be a yes again from you.
Yeah, I'm going yes on this one. I think it's a big game for David Montgomery.
Yeah. No, I agree with you there. I feel like the Lions, I mean, though I do feel like this could be an upset, and I agree with you, I feel like they could come away with the win. I don't think it's going to be a pretty win, and I do think that they are a team that you can still very much run on, and I think Montgomery's going to have a really good game as well. So I agree with you there. Number 6, both teams combined to pass for 425 or more total yards in the game.
I will say yes. 425 for both quarterbacks is definitely doable. I could see one of them throwing for over 250, and then the other just has to throw for around 200. So yeah. I'm with that.
Yeah. The math says it speaks for itself. I agree with you there. I feel like based on what numbers they've put up before, I mean, Goff, when healthy, has had 200 or more yards in every game this season. So that's not really outside the lines for him. And Andy Dalton is a professional quarterback. He's going to be able to keep the ball moving. It's going to be fine. So I agree with you there. Going to go yes. On to the next one, number 7. We have 3 games to get to, so that's why I'm kind of going quickly. We've got a lot to cover in all of these questions.
Yeah, catch your breath.
Okay. Either team records 4 or more total sacks in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to say yes. And even though Chicago's without Khalil Mack, I'm still going to go ahead and say that, a hampered Goff is going to get sacked once or twice, and then Andy Dalton too. I mean, that offensive line for the Chicago Bears has had issues all season long. So for me, I'm definitely thinking there's at least 4 sacks somewhere amongst these two teams throughout this contest.
So either team records 4 or more. So that would again mean that.
I thought it was both teams combined. I can't read.
This is the tricky wording that they like to use. Our boy Josh over at WinView. I see what you're doing here.
Yeah, he's trying to get me. He got me there.
Either team. That would mean that either the Lions get 4 sacks or the Bears get 4 sacks. This is not a both situation, which WinView does have a lot of both kind of questions. So that's kind of going to push me towards the no category.
I'm going to say no. Yeah, that's a little high.
They could each get 2, but not one.
I would say if it was 3, I'd say yes, but okay. Four's a little high.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. So we're going to go with the no. Glad I read that again for you. Just trying to fill in the blank.
Thank you. You saved me. Thank you.
No problem. Reading is hard.
Watch them have 6 sacks tomorrow, the Bears.
I know. Just going to go off. Either team records 2 or more interceptions in the game. Either team.
I'll go ahead and say yes. I could see either of these quarterbacks throwing 2 picks in this game. So I'll go ahead and, if we both think it's going to be somewhat ugly of a football game offensively, I think there's going to be a couple mistakes that are made by one of these 2 quarterbacks. And even if we, like you said, Boyle ends up making an appearance for Jared Goff, we could also see him kind of jump in, and who knows if he makes a mistake. So yeah, I'll go ahead and say yes.
Yep, I agree there. We're going to put yes as well. Number 9, Detroit kicks a successful field goal for 47 or more yards in this game.
This is weird.
I don't like the quicker questions. It's weird.
I'll say yes. I mean, is it feasible that the Detroit offense stalls right around the 25-yard line or something? Well, like around the 30, 35, and they have to settle for 3? Yeah, I'll go ahead and say yes, they do.
Yeah, why the hell not?
Exactly. Why the hell not?
Why the hell not? All right, number 10, last one on this game, and then we're moving on to the Dallas game next. This one says, any defensive player records 10 or more total tackles in the game.
Yeah, give me Roquan Smith. Absolutely. Roquan's one of the best tackle machines in the National Football League, one of the best sideline-to-sideline linebackers we've seen in a while. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll say yes, with my prediction being that it's Roquan.
All right, I love that. All right, that's all of it for that matchup. We're going to go to the next one. Now, this is where WinView likes to store all of your contests, and you can do multiple ones. And since I have this open, I'll go ahead and pull it up. You don't have to just do football. They've got basketball up in here, too. They've got every single sport in here. They're all really fun. And then they just collect into your little My Contests tab, and this is just super fun. See me just having fun with the user interface here? I'm loving it.
I know you've said fun like 3 or 4 times in the span of like one sentence.
You know what's really funny? I haven't had coffee in almost 2 months, and this is how much energy I have at like 8:45 for no coffee in me. That's pretty good.
Wow.
That's
okay.
Pretty
good. Yeah, I just finished an energy drink, and it's like 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time over here. So, yeah.
Ouch.
I'll see you tomorrow morning. I'm not going to sleep.
All right. So WinView is going to kick this one off. Raiders versus the Cowboys. First question right off the bat. The Raiders win this game.
No. They are sorry. Not to disparage our Las Vegas Raider fan base that's probably listening live because they're over on the West Coast.
West Coast.
Yeah, whatever.
It's warm here. It's warm here. I win this argument. It was like 80 today.
Okay, don't talk. Now you're just being mean. Like, I'm stuck up here in Michigan where I'm freezing my ass off. It snowed earlier this week. Thanks, great, good, great, grand, wonderful. No, the Las Vegas Raiders are not going to win this football game. They're in a free fall right now. And
free fall.
Yeah, it's just been a weird year with, Henry Ruggs and John Gruden and all that stuff.
Drama.
A lot of it's negative, and it kind
all
of stopped
terrible.
any momentum that the Raiders did have going this season. Dallas coming off of an embarrassing loss against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, they have no Amari Cooper, and as of right now, CeeDee Lamb practiced today, but he is still recovering. Limited, and he suffered a concussion last week. I mean, I think he's going to play. It seems like those reports are suggesting that he's going to be available, which is a big win for the Dallas offense. But yeah, I think Big D gets it done at home, and the Raiders continue to, not really be able to figure it out amongst all the turmoil.
No, I agree with you there. I'm going to go ahead and click on to the next question while I bring this up. But something too, I mean, looking at the offensive weapons for the Raiders, and obviously Darren Waller is someone that he's a fantastic tight end. I mean, he's going to go down as one of the best. He's amazing at the position, but it's kind of frustrating when you see games like the last one where he had so many targets and he was fully in the mix. I think it was the second or the leading target holder for the week. He had 8 targets, and then Foster Moreau comes in and just vultures a touchdown, which is just super fun and delightful and random for anyone that I'm sure is feeling the pain as I was last week. But it's kind of frustrating because it's just not been consistent for any single player week in and week out. Oh, it's Bryan Edwards this week, and then he disappears the next week. Josh Jacobs is having up and down weeks as well. I mean, you loved the targets that he saw last week, but it's not consistent right now, and I think it speaks to just how scattered the entire Raiders organization feels right now, and that really sucks. But let's go to question 2. Both teams combined.
I wanted to use something. I wanted to use Foster's. It's Australian for vulture. Anyway,
wow.
Come on! It's an old commercial from the '90s.
I know that commercial.
Foster Moreau. All right, whatever. Next question. God, I can't participate. Fine.
Oh, so funny. All right, both teams combined to score 52 or more points in this game.
Let's go ahead and say yes. I think I do think the Dallas offense has a productive day, and I think the Raiders will be able to keep it close through the first 2.5 quarters.
Yeah,
but
I feel like it'll be a close first half for them, and then I could see Dallas just absolutely blowing them out of the water on that one. But I agree. I feel like 52 is a reasonable score for this week, so I'm going to agree, and we're going to go to the next question. Derek Carr passes for more total yards than Dak Prescott in this game.
I'll say yes. I believe that the Raiders are probably going to be playing from behind against the Cowboys for the majority of the game. They may get the first score on the board, but for me, I'm going to go with Carr having to try to throw them into this game. I feel for Carr because outside of Darren Waller, and Hunter Renfro's actually had a really, really, really good year, but Prescott too, potentially we don't know about CeeDee Lamb yet. No. So if CeeDee Lamb's unavailable, then the answer to this is a slam dunk yes for Derek Carr, but even if Lamb is a go, I'm still going to go with Derek Carr.
Yeah, I agree, and I feel like, if they can get out early, this could be just a good, not just a Zeke game, but a big Tony Pollard game, and they can just run out and let that game script kind of work in their favor. So yeah, I agree. I'm going to go with Derek Carr throwing for just a little bit more than Dak Prescott. Number 4, either Josh Jacobs or Ezekiel Elliott rush for a touchdown in this game.
I would say yes. Yeah, I would say either of them. Yeah, I would say very, very, very certain on this one. So I don't know about you though.
No, I'm 100% certain as well. I feel like either of them could rush for a touchdown. I feel like if I had to bet between the two, I would say Zeke, but I feel like this is an easy slam dunk yes for me as well.
Hell, I'd almost want to go yes for both, but it has to be a rushing touchdown. So
yes.
That also kind of comes into play, but they're both do a lot of their damage on the ground. So let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Both teams combined to rush for 220 or more total yards in the game. Both teams combine to rush for 220. So that's a both.
What's your initial thought?
My initial thought is yes. I mean, mostly because though I don't know that this is going to be a huge Josh Jacobs day, I feel like between Zeke and Pollard, and then it's going to be a bit scattered too for the Raiders, I feel like 220 is not an easy number to hit, but I feel like it's very doable.
I feel like between Pollard and Zeke, they'll probably be around 150 combined. And then, can Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake or whoever else is going to be contributing in that Raiders backfield, can they get 70? Yes. I'll go ahead and go with yes on this one.
Yeah.
It's close, though.
It's a little close.
Almost thought about the risk-free, but we'll save it.
All right, we'll save it for one more. All right, Crosby records one or more total sacks in this game.
He's kind of due. I think he's due for one. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, I agree as well. I feel like he's due for one, and gonna put that in. Number 7, Trayvon Diggs records an interception in this game. I want to hit yes on this. He is also due. He is so due for another interception. And what better time than prime time than Thanksgiving to get an interception?
Against your boy Derek Carr. Yeah, I would probably say no, but let's go ahead. I mean, I've gotten the tiebreakers a lot on this one, so let's roll with it. It's 5 times your wager, so hell yeah, let's go.
All right, so should I do the risk-free on this?
I think so. I mean, because
Right.
to get a pick is it's not easy.
Okay, when he gets 2 picks, I'll FaceTime you.
FaceTime me, hit me up on Twitter, make fun of me. That's all good.
All the at.
Stop adding me.
Number 8, either team kicks 3 or more successful field goals in this game.
No, 3 or more. 3 is kind of high, don't you think?
Yeah, 3 feels a bit high.
Yeah, I'm 2 I'd be okay with, but no, 3's no.
Yeah,
Nah.
a bit unnecessary. No.
Nah.
No, thank you. Number 9, more points are scored in the first half than the second half of the game.
What is this wackiness? What is this wackiness? Just you take this one.
I know, it's such a weird question.
I'd say no. I think actually the second half is going to see more
You
points
think it's
scored.
going to be more fire?
Yeah. Both teams kind of get off to a little bit of a slow start,
Rocky.
and then the Raiders
Back and forth.
pick up some garbage time tutties. Like
Yep, garbage time just to keep them in it. Yeah, okay, I agree with that. Wait, did I read that right? More points in the first half? No. So you think there's going to be more points in the second half?
yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I was reading that right.
See, I got your back. I got you.
Reading is hard. It's really hard. What can I say? All right, last question for this game. Then we're moving on to the last one of Thursday Night Football. A touchdown is scored in every quarter of the game.
These weird questions. Come on, WinView. Making Thanksgiving stressful on me. It's already stressful enough.
No. Making
Sure,
us
what
think
the hell?
really
It's
hard.
three and a half times the wager. We're scared money don't make money here at the Fantasy Debate with Sam and Tate.
I should make a T-shirt with your face on it that says that. Scared money don't make money.
What face do you want me to make?
One of these finger guns ones.
Oh, no. No. Gosh.
It's got to be good. Come on.
Oh, God. That's like a dad thing. I get it. I'm a dad
You're
now.
a dad.
but
Come on.
I know.
It's totally in your wheelhouse. It makes perfect sense. All right. The last one to cover is going to be the Bills versus the Saints. This is a weird game for me in my mind because the Bills have not looked how they should look at all. The Saints are playing without Kamara. They're playing with Trevor Siemian, who's sneakily the 3rd best quarterback in fantasy right now, which doesn't make any sense either.
Whoa.
It's just it's a weird game to me. Like what? How is this happening? And then the Falcons beat the Saints like a couple weeks ago, and that's still I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, how did that happen? And then I fall back asleep. But still, this is it's a weird matchup for me. Is that not the same for you? It's in Buffalo.
I thought it was in New Orleans.
No, I have in my notes that it's in Buffalo, unless I wrote it wrong. Which is totally possible.
Well, generally, I mean, we're looking at the screen right now. It says Buffalo on the left, New Orleans on the right. Normally, the team on the right is the home team, but if you say it's in Buffalo, then it's in Buffalo. I believe you.
ESPN, it says it in Buffalo.
Okay, well then, hey, they're never wrong. Well,
They could totally be wrong.
they could be totally
Oh no,
wrong.
wait! I think I read that wrong.
Here we go.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. I think it's in.
Okay, so while
Anyways.
New Orleans is not an easy place to play football, right? I expect this to be a get-right game for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, who all of a sudden now are in a dogfight in the AFC East with the New England Patriots. Like,
Yeah.
they lost bad to Jacksonville, then they lost even worse to the Indianapolis Colts. Jonathan Taylor touched up this team to the point of finding pay dirt 5 different times. Nuts.
Yeah.
But you already mentioned it. They don't have to worry about Alvin Kamara. And for that reason, even though the Saints have been pretty good on defense for the most parts this season, I expect Josh Allen and them to get right in this game and kind of make this one a little bit ugly.
All right. So with
That's my take. I don't know. I mean, but am I underestimating the Saints here? Tell me.
No, I don't think that you are. I agree. I feel like of the two, I'm going to pick the Bills to win as well. I feel like this has to be a get right game for Josh Allen. I mean, he's got so much to prove in this division, and he's due. The Bills are due for a big game, and hopefully that's what happens here. So to go off of this first question, the game is decided by 6 points or fewer. Do you feel like this has, of the 3 games, this is more likely to be the one that's a blowout, or do you feel like this one's going to be close?
I'm trying to bank on the fact that I still think the Bills are a contender in the AFC, and I still think that Josh Allen is not just a very good quarterback. I think he's an elite level quarterback. But the problem is he's been erratic this season. And, I mean, we saw that kind of erratic, inconsistent, volatile performances to start his career, right? And he looked like he really took that next step last season, and he's shown glimpses of it, but he doesn't look quite as consistent this season. But I look for him, who's probably hearing all kinds of noise about, what's wrong with the Bills, what's wrong with Josh Allen, blah, 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 blah. I expect him to make a statement, and he really, quite frankly, they should against a very, very, very undermanned New Orleans Saints team. But, the Saints are always dangerous at home.
Yeah.
It's the only hesitation, but I'm banking on Josh Allen in this game, so I say yes. I think they win by 10 or more points.
Okay, so the game is decided by 6 or fewer points. You're going to say no?
Correct.
It's going to be more. Okay. Just making sure I'm reading the language correctly. I'm going to agree with you there.
You are correct.
And now, Josh Allen rushes for a touchdown in this game. That's our second question. Right off the bat. Jumping right into the deep end.
Yeah, I actually think he does. I think he has, I'm going to call my shot, I think he has over 300 total yards and 3 total scores, 2 through the air, 1 on the ground.
Okay, because he hasn't had a rushing touchdown since week 8.
I know.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm just throwing that out there.
You are throwing it out there, and that felt like it hurt. I felt the jab.
Okay,
but
my bad. Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Just saying.
It's a good stat pull. No, it's good.
Yeah.
It's relevant.
On the season, he's only had 3 rushing touchdowns.
I know.
Un-Josh Allen.
Correct. Which, again, I'm kind of going.
Probably why it's saying 4 times versus the 1.
Correct. So no, I understand that his involvement and his rushing totals haven't been the gaudy ones that we've seen in the past, in particular, as far as finding Pater. But just feel like he's kind of due. Like, again, I feel like this is a Josh Allen kind of statement game.
All right. Would you go with your risk-free shot on this one or no?
I don't know what the other questions are, but it wouldn't. Yes, I would like to do it.
Okay. Gonna do it.
And they're gonna hit me with some stupid kicker question where I wish I had it. So.
100%. All right. The Saints pass for 225 or more total yards in this game.
So stack out. Let me know, what are the numbers for Trevor Siemian since he's been under center as far as passing yardage go on a yards per game basis? Because I'm actually quite interested against a Bills team that gave up a lot of damage on the ground last week, but Trevor Siemian without Alvin Kamara to dump it off to, what do you think?
Yeah, so in the last 3 weeks, he has had over 200 passing yards, and in week 10, he got really close to the 300-yard mark, but it's just, I don't know, the 225, I think what's kind of trying to pull you over the edge is that one game that was close to over 300 yards. I don't know that he is able to be that consistent and that efficient with those yards, because he also had 2 interceptions last week.
Right. The only counterpoint that I want to make is I believe, like I was already kind of saying, that I think the Bills are going to win this game by more than 10 points. Mm-hmm. That should lend itself to at least opportunity, volume for throwing the football for Trevor Siemian. So I think he'll actually hit that 225 mark. It's just going to be close. I think he probably throws for 245.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna go over 200, but I feel like he's not gonna go over 225.
Okay, then it's your account.
It's my account. It's my money.
Yeah,
I know. Hashtag analysis. Buffalo records more total sacks than New Orleans in this game.
Ooh, I'm going to say no on this one.
No?
One of the plights of quarterbacks that can extend plays is they like to hold the football. And again, the Saints defense, not a bad unit. So I think they get after Josh Allen and get him on the ground more than the Buffalo Bills are capable of getting Trevor Siemian on the ground.
Okay, I like that. That definitely, I mean, it speaks to how the Bills have been playing all season. So I'll agree with you there. Buffalo records more total sacks than New Orleans Saints in this game. Gonna say no. On to the next one. Number 5, both teams combined to score 44 or more points in this game.
Yes, even though the Bills' offense has not looked very good over the last month, I'll go ahead and say they right the ship in this game and put up a 30 spot, and then the Saints are able to put around 17.
Yep. All right. I like that. Going to go on to the next one. Number 6, either team forces 2 or more turnovers in the game. This going back to how you feel about the Saints defense?
Yeah. I mean, it's not, and also you already mentioned that Trevor Siemian threw 2 picks in one of his appearances, and even
just
against
last week. Yep.
Even against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when he stepped in for Jameis Winston, there was a couple opportunities. One got picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. In the end zone, got called back because of a bogus or questionable, roughing the passer call. So I mean, like, he's definitely given the other opposing team a couple opportunities. So I think one of these two teams are capable of forcing 2 turnovers.
All right, I agree with you there. So I'm gonna go yes, slam dunk. Wrong sport. Either team scores 17 or more points in any quarter of the game.
Damn it! I knew I shouldn't have used the risk free. This is weird. I'm just gonna say no, because that's high. I mean, that's
high.
That's 3. I mean, maybe a defensive touchdown happens. That's how the kind of the wackiness can kind of take place. But yeah, I'm gonna say 17's a bit aggressive for one quarter.
Yeah, I agree. That's too aggressive for me. No, thank you. Gonna go with number 8. Diggs records 100 or more total receiving yards in this game.
I'm going to say no, even though he's capable of torching anybody in the NFL. Defense has been pretty good, and in particular, on the other side of the football, I do like some of the Saints secondary members. So I think that they're able to at least keep Diggs in check. So I'm going to say no. But I mean, are you feeling like this is if we feel like this is a get right game for Josh Allen? Certainly there's the script that could read Stephon Diggs goes for like 130 or something like that in a score.
I mean, I do feel like this is a get right game, but Diggs has only had 100 or more receiving yards in a game twice this season.
Right. Yeah.
So just based on, and Cole Beasley's had one himself. He's had one over 100-yard game as well, and that was in week 8. I feel like he has enough weapons that not a single player has to hit over 100 yards in a single game. And scrolling through a couple other pass catchers, I mean, Dawson Knox had over 100 yards in week 5. So it's kind of a smattering of one guy being the guy. I don't know that it's going to be Diggs this week, not for any, reason in particular, but if the Saints defense is going to be trying to put a hurt on one of their best weapons, it would be their best service to put that hurt on Diggs, and it would open things up for players like Beasley, for Sanders, and for Dawson Knox.
Yeah, I mean, even Gabe Davis. Like, I mean, look, lockdown Lattimore is a thing. Like, he's a damn good cover corner, and he's going to see his fair share of facing off against Stephon Diggs in this one. So, he's proven the capability to also shadow the opposing team's number 1. So, not that Diggs can't get to him, and it'll be a nice battle, but certainly Lattimore is not going to make things easy on Stephon Diggs.
No, I feel like should be a really fun one to watch those two duke it out. I mean, maybe it would be even one because it's prime time. Maybe someone gets flagged for taunting on one.
Fight. Yeah, I know.
Fight. Throw it down. No, someone gets ejected. Who knows? Why can't we get one of those questions, WinView? Someone gets ejected in this game. Yes.
By the way, did you see that whole LeBron thing in Detroit?
No.
Like Isaiah Stewart, like one of the Pistons center, Bron hit him in the face with like his left arm and cut him open. It looked like a Rocky Balboa fight.
Yeah, he just managed to hit him with the sharpest part of his elbow, and he just went like this, and then it was just like he happened to hit him in the right perfect spot to like just explode his eye, and then
kind of swung his arm though. He's kind of swung his arm, and
you swing your arms to get people off of you. He didn't like hit him in the head. Like
it's close.
It wasn't a closed fist to the face.
It's only LeBron James, who's 6'9", 260 solid, and
all of them are about that big. It's the NBA; they're all huge.
The thing is, Isaiah Stewart, though, like, did you see any of the? No, he's not tiny. He's built like a linebacker. I mean, he did his best Jonathan Taylor impersonation on all of the training staff and his teammates, and it's like LeBron James was all the way. LeBron had his army and AKA his teammates in front of him, basically protecting the king, and Isaiah Stewart went full Jonathan Taylor and just tried to mow down everybody in the way. God, it was really entertaining in a very weird kind of way.
It was weird and like, why is this still escalating? This is still escalating. It's still escalating? Are we done? It's not done. He's running through the hallways to try and get him in the locker room. Like, okay, this got... It's just really like that part in Anchorman. That really escalated quickly. Like, that's just kind of how I felt by the end of all of it.
I mean, it really jumped up fast. Yeah. Like, Brick killed a guy. Anyway.
Amazing. All right, number 9. Any player records 8 or more receptions in the game.
I'm going to say no. My best guess in this game would be Stephon Diggs. And if we don't think he's going for 100, I don't think he's catching 8 balls. So...
No.
I'm going to say no. I mean, Cole Beasley could sneak up there if he has a huge day, if they decide to go in a different direction, because Lattimore is shadowing Stephon Diggs. They could try to get Beasley in the slot going, but 8's a high number. So I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go no there as well, because only twice this year has Stephon Diggs had 8 or more catches in a game. So I'm just going to kind of lean on the odds here, and also with what you said about Lattimore, I just don't feel like he's going to have that big a game, and there's so many other weapons for the Bills to get it going that he doesn't need to. So I agree with you there. I'm going to go with no. Hard pass.
No.
Nope. Last question. Buffalo rushes for more touchdowns than New Orleans in this game.
Well, I think Allen's running for 1 to stay consistent. I think that's the only. I think that's the only one, though. Well, here I am. Now I gotta check myself. So I'm gonna adjust my prediction, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that Allen rushes for 1 but throws 3, so they can actually score a decent amount of points. Because otherwise, they're not really blowing out the Saints. Anyway. No. Point being, I'm going to go ahead and say no, they don't, because I think the Saints are going to try to run the football to keep this one close, and kind of take the ball out of Trevor Siemian's hands, have a little bit of balance to their game. And it says rushes for more touchdowns than New Orleans. So if I think they're only going to get 1 on the ground, all New Orleans has to do is get 1 to match them. So the tiebreaker goes to New Orleans in this case, and in this case, I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that as well. Looking at their running options as well. Zach Moss and Devin Singletary haven't necessarily blown up the running game for the Bills in any sense of the word. I think Josh Allen's going to get a rushing touchdown, and I think that's it. And I think that the Saints are going to be able to either match or beat that as well. So, agreed there. Make prediction. All set. Guys,
that's it.
Yeah, we managed to get through 30 questions. That was a lot.
It was a bit lengthier than I thought, but time flies when I'm talking football on the Fantasy Debate with Sam and Tate.
It absolutely does. Yeah, same for me. And you know what? I absolutely love going through all these props as well, because it forces me to think differently about my individual fantasy analysis as I'm going through a game. So it's super fun, and I enjoy going through them with you. Now, before we go out, have to know, because it's the question everyone wants to know, what's your favorite Thanksgiving side dish, and what's your least favorite thing to eat on Thanksgiving? I want to know the best and the worst.
The worst, I don't get the whole craving thing with cranberry sauce or cranberry. I mean, I don't even know if that's like what you would consider like an actual side, but I just don't get the whole jam with cranberry sauce on Thanksgiving.
Unintended? You don't get the jam?
No, don't do that to me. That was good. That was good, Sam.
Unintended.
Damn it. Anyway, no, cranberry sauce is my least favorite. And then my favorite, a little, this is tough because I'm so simple when it comes to like a great homemade mashed potatoes and gravy.
You know what? It's kind of the thing that I've heard a lot of, actually, so I'm not surprised. Mashed potatoes is kind of the low-key 101 for a lot of people. I think there's something about mashed potatoes, the ones that, mom makes, that grandma makes, that are on Thanksgiving, that are just, they bring a sense of home to the whole meal. They really bring it all together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's the connecting tissue on my plate, right? Like I have sprinkle a little bit of green stuff, whether it be green beans or, broccoli casserole or whatever. But then, the turkey and a little bit of ham and, but it's always just right. Touching everything on the plate and you can scoop it with everything is mashed potatoes and gravy. So,
yeah. See, for that reason, gravy is probably my favorite thing because that is just like, my plate becomes like a soup bowl with just how much gravy I cover everything with, and everything is just absolutely coated, extra dippings. My family goes through it so much that there's always like 2 gravy boats on, and then there's a pot that's just like on deck ready for refills. Like we go through so much gravy.
You have to make extra, and I think that at least in the Tate household, that is a hot commodity. And we want to make sure, too, for the leftovers, that you have more gravy than you actually need.
Absolutely. You need to have that backup. It's got to be, ready in case you need it. You've just woken up after being asleep for 3 hours, and you're like, I need a third or fourth helping, depending on which plate you're on. By the time you've had your first food coma, you need the gravy on deck. It's got to be there.
Who is the mashed potatoes and gravy, or the gravy of your fantasy football squads in 2021? What's the binding tissue on all of your teams? Who's the one player?
Ooh, that is a really good question. I mean, I feel like for a lot of people with multiple leagues, it's probably Cooper Kupp. It's just been like the consistent, delicious gravy to an entire week. Just even if you've had a bad week, you're looking at the side and you're like, I still had you. So it's like, I feel like he's probably that connective tissue. I don't have enough shares of Cooper Kupp. But then maybe on the other end, I would say, oh man. I did not freeze the frame, I swear. I'm still thinking.
No, I mean, for me, we're comparing players to food. But for it. Deebo Samuel.
Yeah. Okay.
Deebo's been my guy, and I, lucky enough to be able to have played the wrong hype candidate train well when it came to Brandon Ayuk being the guy that everybody had, kind of pegged as a breakout player, which I think he's still going to be fine. A lot of people are going to kind of hate Brandon Ayuk for his lackluster start to this season while they're watching Deebo Samuel just absolutely destroy defenses this year. But Deebo's been kind of the guy, the binding tissue on all of my teams, and that's why I'm doing pretty well in fantasy this year. I tell you what, man.
There you go. There you have it. Well, thanks everyone so much for tuning in. I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And thank you so much for listening to the Fantasy Debate with Sam and Tate. Check out all the other content, seasonal and DFS tools, as well as premium access to our staff for all your fantasy sports questions in the members-only Discord right here at drrhoda.com.
I just want to be the first to wish everyone, it is 12:16 Eastern Standard Time officially. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy it with your family. I'm going to enjoy it with mine. Sam, you too. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. And until next time, enjoy your taters because later, says the tater.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drrhoda.com. And until the next